Hey ladies, Michelle here. I will apologize. I do have a bunch of fever blisters on my lip, but I did not want that to stop me from filming this video for you guys. I wanted to start preparing for Thanksgiving coming up. I know it's November 3rd now, so you may be wondering, like, what am I supposed to do this month to prepare for Thanksgiving? Should I be working out more, eating less? Like, what exactly should I be doing? So this video is going to explain to you exactly what I feel that you should do because I have done this before in the past. It has worked wonders. My clients have done this in the past, and it's just a really good plan to follow. Excuse me. It's a good plan to follow because it's sustainable and it's not going to restrict you of anything. So, first thing we need to do is make sure we actually follow the meal plan. So, all of you that are my clients are getting meal plans, unless you're a workout only client, which I don't have many of you guys like that. But the meal plan is something that you really need to follow. So, no, you do not need to eat less. No, you don't need to restrict any kind of carbs or anything like that. But it is very helpful that you eat super clean. So, following up to Thanksgiving, usually the first 2 weeks of November, I don't usually suggest any kind of like cutting back on anything. But the week before, what I typically do for my clients and for myself is I just clean it up a little bit more. So I'll get rid of like protein bars and the popcorn. And again, this is something that wonderfully you don't have to worry about because I do meal plan for you. But for the weekends, basically, this will help you too. I try to stay away from the packaged foods and I try my best to do a lot more of the whole foods. I also try to stay away from more added sugar foods. So, the creamers of your coffee, they're not horrible, but pay attention to how much you're putting in your creamer of your coffee. The other thing that I see most people kind of worry about are protein bars. So usually I kind of give you guys ideas of protein bars, but be very careful the week before Thanksgiving of eating a bunch of bars, a bunch of chips, even if it's baked chips. Try to stay more clean the week before Thanksgiving. So, and I don't mean like salads and stuff like that, but basic veggie protein and some sort of carb. So, breakfast, try to eat a lot more protein, a lot more eggs. For snacks, try to keep it for something in the fridge instead of going to the pantry for something. For lunches and dinners, obviously the same thing, protein, veggie, high veggie, because your fiber is where you're going to really be able to digest everything for Thanksgiving. And then the weekend before. Usually, a lot of people I talk to, they kind of just, they know Thanksgiving's around the corner and they're ready to celebrate. They're ready to get excited. Some people even celebrate Thanksgiving the weekend before. But you feel that you have more leniency and you can choose more foods because you've been doing so well for the month. But unless you're physically celebrating Thanksgiving and you guys are doing it as a family, or whether or not it's an actual turkey and a sit down meal, or you're celebrating, then there's no reason that you should veer off of the plan. The weekend before is so very crucial because it could possibly set you up for a successful week or a week of derailing. So the weekend before, I try my best to stick to a lot of protein. Protein, protein, protein. Protein gets you a very far away. It's going to make you very full. It's going to make you have more energy. It's going to make you build more muscle and possibly help you lose weight because you'll actually stay on plan by eating more protein and being full for longer. So the weekend before Thanksgiving, like I said, unless you're actually celebrating Thanksgiving with your family, if it's just a regular weekend for you, then I really don't suggest you going off plan at all. Like not even a cheat meal, not even your regular. I mean, if you have a date night, that's great, but I would still stay on plan. Like don't, go to Carrabba's and get a whole pasta Alfredo or something like that and then eat the whole thing and there you go, 2,000 calories probably in one dish. Try to stay on plan that weekend. I know you're probably thinking, oh my God, Michelle, you have lost your mind, but I'm going to tell you why. The weekend before is very important because it will set you up for a horrible week or a great week. Now, the week of Thanksgiving, it's your regular week. Most of us are all working. Most of the kids have school the first 2 days and then they're off. Some of them have off the whole week. So we will actually talk about that when it gets closer. We will set up a plan. I will help you plan for that week. Whatever your week is like, we will worry about that then. But treat it like a regular week. Have your foods prepped. Even if you're home with your kids, you need to make sure you have your stuff prepped, because I promise you, because your mind is thinking, it's Thanksgiving. Let me, have an extra cosmic brownie. It's going to be okay. But it's not. Don't do it, okay? Don't do it. Prep your food still. Follow the plan still. We usually go on trips every year for Thanksgiving. I think this year we're actually going to stay home. But what I've done in the past, if I'm traveling, I still stick to some sort of a plan. It might not be me meal prepping it, but it will be me thinking, okay, breakfast, I'll eat something healthy, like maybe some turkey bacon, and I usually bring like whole wheat English muffins and stuff, and then I can make a sandwich for breakfast. For lunch, I try honestly to do like salads and stuff before, because I know that the next day is going to be a lot of carbs. So, Thanksgiving Day, or whatever day that you celebrate Thanksgiving. This is how I have navigated this for years, and it has been perfectly fine. I don't gain weight. I don't necessarily lose weight, but I maintain and I don't gain, which is more important than you losing 30 pounds in a month, okay? So, Thanksgiving Day, what I usually do is I do eat a very good breakfast. It does not matter if I'm cooking here, which we've only hosted Thanksgiving once, but I eat a very good breakfast. I don't care where you are. Make it a point to eat a good breakfast. Don't eat 4 biscuits. I'm talking like a lot of eggs, some sort of high protein breakfast. And you can have, I would say to stay with, if you're going to do a carb, I would say to stay with like some potatoes or something, and that's it. Don't do a tortilla or anything like that, because that's added stuff. I would just do something simple like a sweet potato. If not, stick to a bunch of eggs, high protein. Second tip, don't snack all day. Do not snack. I know Thanksgiving is a big food holiday. So my thought is, what is the point of snacking? Because you're just adding on to the calories, and then whenever you eat your Thanksgiving meal, you're probably going to be too full to eat it, number one, and enjoy it. So if I'm snacking, it's going to be very mindful snacking. Like if we have some sort of like cream cheese dip with apples, I might have a few bites. I'm not going to eat a bunch of chips and dip. I'm not going to eat a bunch of other nonsense. I'm going to wait until that meal, because I want to actually enjoy it. And yes, it's adding more calories, but it's more me wanting to not be full. Like I want to enjoy the Thanksgiving lunch. So Thanksgiving. Some people go back for seconds. You do not need seconds. I could promise you whatever you fit on that one plate is all you really need, because you're probably going to get dessert too. And you're probably going to have a glass of wine or a beer or something else with it. So eat whatever you want. You're probably waiting for me to be like, oh, add a half a plate of salad. No, just eat whatever you want, okay? The biggest tip I can give you, what I do for my plate, is I go for the protein options first. So the turkey roll, the ham, I try to fill my mind with how much am I really going to eat of this food. I don't like to waste for Thanksgiving, because everybody always takes stuff home. So Thanksgiving plate is typically I do my proteins first. Then I go for my veggies, which sometimes is not the healthiest. The green bean casserole we make down here in the South is not the healthiest, but I put a little bit of green bean. We always do cornbread dressing. I personally bring salad, so I usually throw salad on there too. Potatoes. I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter. Whatever you can put on your plate, it's fine. This is not a day that you're worried about the plate method of half of your plate being veggies and the other half being protein and carbs. This is not the day you're going to be a plate method, okay? This is the day where you're going to take this plate, you're going to put whatever you want on it, and you're going to enjoy your food. And you're going to go for dessert. But listen to me very good. That's it, okay? You don't need to eat all day. This is a holiday where all of us tend to overeat, and number one, you're going to be so full and so stuffed, you're probably going to look 8 months pregnant. There's no need, okay? Fill your plate up with whatever you want to eat. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's the whole plate of cornbread dressing. Whatever you want to eat, fill the plate up. Then have your glass of wine, have you some dessert, then get away from the kitchen and go sit somewhere or go walk outside with the kids. Go do something else. Get away from the food. Go find you something else to do, okay? That night for us is typically leftovers. What I do for leftovers to get that satisfaction, I choose 2 things that I really, really want. It's always turkey or ham. I love turkey rolls. Like, I'm obsessed with turkey rolls, and they are very good for you. So I'm going to give you a hint on that too. And I'm sorry, I realize this video is already 10 minutes long. I will probably do a second video, so I'm going to cut it short here. Next video is going to be, what do you do after Thanksgiving? So, that night is typically leftovers for us. So what I usually do, it's always going to be a protein for me. I choose two options. I do a protein, which is ham or turkey. And then my next thing I usually do is something else I really want that I know I'm not going to have again. It's usually green bean casserole or the cornbread dressing. And sometimes I'll put a little bit of both. But it's something to get myself that satisfaction of, okay, I've had enough. I think I'm good. I'm fine till next year. Because we don't make Thanksgiving, we don't make green bean casserole and the cornbread dressing very often. So I'll choose another option of something that I really want, and that's it. I'm not really a sweets person, so if you are a sweets person, I say have another bite of dessert, but I don't usually like sweets. So I choose 2 or 3 options for dinner, and that's it. I promise you, you have eaten enough calories for the day for you not to be hungry. You should not be hungry at the end of Thanksgiving Day unless you starved all day. You should not be hungry, okay? So that is it for Thanksgiving Day. I will cut this video short, and we will talk about post-Thanksgiving on another video. But to remind you and summarize everything, I don't usually prep, that much for Thanksgiving this far in advance in November. The first 2 weeks in November are me just following the plan. I'm still doing my weekends, like 1 cheat meal, still drinking a few options and watching my protein and my carb with the drinking. You guys know what I'm talking about. The week before is typically when I start to clean it up. I take away my protein bars and my popcorn. I don't limit myself or restrict myself. I just clean it up with protein, veggie, carb. But again, you don't have to worry about that. I do your meal plan. That is the great thing about having me as your coach, because I will help you through all this. But I wanted this video to kind of mentally prepare you for, guess what? You still get to eat your Thanksgiving dinner. I am not going to be the coach that is going to tell you, or the trainer that is going to tell you, you are only allowed protein and salad. I mean, that's just bizarre. It's not how to live your life. So I hope this helps you guys. I hope it's helping you like prepare and mentally think about Thanksgiving, knowing you need to understand when you feel full and stop eating, okay? So start to be mindful of that in the weeks prior to Thanksgiving. Am I full? Do I really, even if you are already portioned out your food like I told you for the meal plan, if you're not hungry, then stop eating. Even though you have your container of food, I have my container of food for lunch right here. I have my container. I'm going to eat. When I'm full, I'm going to stop. I don't care if that's what specifically I'm supposed to be eating for this meal. I'm going to stop whenever I'm full. So just be very mindful of, am I full? Do I need to continue eating? Should I stop? You should be drinking a lot of water. You should be not skipping your workouts, and you'll do great. All right, guys, I hope you liked this video. I again apologize for my busted lip of fever blisters. I've had them my whole life, and I hope you don't think I look crazy. So you guys have a good day, and I will do a Thanksgiving video part 2 later, and I will send it over to you guys.